about me. I will I will say this. I was shocked to see what happened in that fight. I was very, very happy
First round
for
was,
brother. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just getting out struck start to finish, and then the left hook that Usman threw was really it really came from like one plane. Like he kind of already had his arm out and just brought it around and
It
instantly
wasn't
shut him
it
off.
was it wasn't a it didn't look like a big shot, but if you can shut someone off like that from that angle, I mean, you've got real power. I mean, so apparently and it's nice for him, for Usman's brother, because you're under a huge shadow.
Oh yeah,
But the beautiful thing about fighting is it doesn't really matter who's brother or uncle or like Ali's grandson. When you get in that ring, it doesn't really matter what shadow you're under. It's you and your opponent, and whatever happens will happen. There is no Your grandfather's legacy isn't going to protect you, and your brother's legacy isn't going to protect you. It's you and whoever comes out. And kudos to him because he shook off some of that shadow dust that day. Now he can kind of, run his own path without people saying you're only there because your brother got you there. So I
yep.
think that dust is off of him, and I'm happy for him because I'm pretty sure that was pretty annoying. Anybody who gets in that ring, you don't need that shit hanging over your head. Now he'll be able to go and show, because that knockout wasn't it did not look like a punch that should have shut someone's lights off, and it did, and that's a sign of somebody who's just got heavy hands.
Yeah, from that short a distance, and you said everything perfectly right there. I feel that Anderson's son, for example, too, who's just now getting into kickboxing. Every time he makes such headlines because he's Anderson's son, and everyone wants to see how he's going to do and everything. And they got to walk in that shadow for a little while, and finally, when they get out of it, they can start walking on their own. That's really good perspective of it.
Yeah, I'm happy for him for that. Hello, kitty.
She's hanging out with me.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. So tell me what you like this week. We've got it's kind of a bizarre card. Like it looks like that UFC doesn't just do throw up cards. I mean, these are all real talented fighters, but it is a bizarre card in the sense that I don't see any massive names on this card that you would typically see. You typically see even some old timers,
Right.
that are on there. This is not one of those cards. So what are you seeing? Who do you like? And who's your pick of the week? Let's see if you can go 2-0.
I'll I'll give you I'll give you two fights that I like really quick, and then I'll give you my pick of the week. I'll get away from the main event because I did the main event last week, but I will say for one of my picks, I do like Dominic Cruz against Cheeto this week. I think looking at Cheeto's past fights, Cheeto, I'm not saying the guy's not technical. Cheeto just turns it into a dogfight usually, and he's one of those guys put his head down and crack you. And I think Dom is Dom's not that. We saw him kink in the Garbrandt fight where he got drawn into it. Cody didn't even really brawl with him. Cody was just beating him to the punch every time. And I don't think Dom is going to let that happen at his age. He's a little bit more precise other than the Cejudo kick. I think Dom will get that done against Cheeto. And then I'm going to drop to one of the prelim fights, and then I'll give you my pick of the week. Damon Blackshear. He's
real quick before you go on, because of the Cheeto fight. So Cheeto's won 3 in a row.
Yes.
And Cheeto is the heavy favorite in that fight.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So I like that. That's a ballsy pick. Now I've got a personal love for Cheeto because I
know you.
I know how, like, he takes it seriously with his diet year round, trains constantly, diets constantly, works constantly. He was a guy who was almost knocked off the Ultimate Fighter. I think he was knocked off the Ultimate Fighter. He was basically almost a loser fighter in a lot of ways. Like, as far as the UFC was concerned, they were going to toss him, and he just kept outworking everybody.
Started clawing his way back in.
He's a scrappy clawy fuck. So that's a big upset, and I'm excited. You just said that, and I'm like, oh shit, because you always root for Cheeto. But go ahead and continue. I'll keep that on. So you're talking about Blackshear. So Da Blackshear is
Yeah.
fighting Bilal.
So real quick on Blackshear, he was the CFFC 135-pound champ. The guy's been on a tear. He's
Yeah.
he's been fighting some tough guys. Fought a dude last fight who ducked one of my teammates, choked him out. And Zala is on a 3-fight losing streak, and I feel like they're bringing Blackshear in. Blackshear's underdog right now, not by a lot, but I feel like they're bringing Blackshear up out of the regional scene. And I think he's going to be able to get maybe not get the finish, maybe get a decision. I like Blackshear as the underdog in that card, so I gave you 2 dogs so far, and now I'm going to go with the pick of the week because I feel like this one's a lock. I'm always going to pick the jiu-jitsu guy, except when it's this instance, Gerald Mearshart and Bruno Silva. I think that's a nightmare matchup for Gerald. Nightmare matchup.
So I was going to say Silva should be a heavy. He is a favorite, and he should be for that.
Yeah.
That's a bad.
That's a horrible matchup for him at 85 too, man. And how I thought Bruno looked awesome against Alex, and I think you can argue that maybe Bruno stole 2 rounds. I think he definitely got a round out of that. But Bruno's just way too heavy-handed, and Gerald, great jiu-jitsu, excellent. The guy's got tons of submission finishes, but I think Bruno will hang with him on the ground if it does go there. And not to say Gerald can't crack him, but I think Bruno can put him down with a lot less effort, I think. So that's the lock of the week. I think Bruno Silva. And then hell, I'm saying if you want to parlay, if you want to get a 2-dog parlay with the one heavy favorite, I'd say Dominic Cruz and Blackshear. I might kill that Blackshear line tomorrow. Honestly, I'm very confident. If you watch some of his fights in CFFC, great fighter, great talent. And I think that it's a very I think they're trying to bring him up with this matchup, his first matchup in the UFC.
Yeah, I had Blackshear as my pick of the week. So I was looking into his background and his fights. I was like, this guy's legit. I don't know a lot about. I know Zalal's not been doing well recently, but I'm like, I think that they're bringing this cat up to be a fighter. So my pick of the week is Blackshear. It's a great pick. I also am interested in this Quinlan fight. Quinlan's 5-0 coming in. It's his first fight in the UFC. I was scouting that one. He's a real talent. They have him going against Witt. I'm not sure. I haven't really watched a lot about Witt. I haven't looked at his film or anything like that, but I do know his last fight was a loss. He's lost. He's pretty much split all of his last 5 fights. But when I say pretty much, you can't split 5, but loss, win, loss, and then a split, decision.
Right.
So, he's I think that he's another one that they're grooming to come in. Quinlan is another one they're grooming to come in and be, potential next person in. But, when you're coming in that first fight at the UFC, controlling those emotions, like we talked about earlier, is a big thing. We'll see, it's a bigger stage, more adrenaline, higher stakes. You want to put on that show, and you got to channel it all in. And, some people can do it. Some people do it real well, and other people blow it out in the gym or blow it out before, and they can't, when the lights come on, it's just a different fighter. They can't, they wilt under the big lights. So
that's a huge point. Real quick, sorry to cut you off. Leaving it in the gym, that's something you see a lot of guys in their debut. They finally make it to UFC, and they leave everything in the gym, and by the time fight time comes around, they're burnt. They're totally burnt, and that's a big thing too. And you never know. That's why you see these guys who kill it on regional circuits and stuff. They finally get to the UFC. And it's like, that's not the guy I've been watching all these years. Granted, the talent might be a little bit upper, but sometimes that plays a big factor. I think that's a very big factor at all levels of combat sports, is leaving it all in the gym. You got to know. I listened to Michael Bisping a lot. Michael Bisping said if he could go back in time and redo some things he did when he was a younger fighter, one of them would be listening to his body and not training as much. and he would say, you don't have to be in the gym sparring every day. You don't have to be in the gym going hard as shit every day. Sometimes you got to listen and rest and recover, because that way you're going into the fight ready and you're not going into the fight beat the hell down.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something that comes with experience. As a young man, your ego is very important, and it's a very, you don't want to look like a pussy to your training mates, your coach, everybody there. It's kind of a macho thing, is, hey, I'm here to train no matter what. I'm not going to make excuses for my knee, my foot, whatever. But when you're getting ready to go for a fight, you have to check your ego and do what's right and recover and do what you can do and not do what's going to hurt
Right.
you, and make sure you're in your best possible position when you get there. I think that's, it's a young person thing, man. Ego is a hell of a drug. It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, well, because the ego check's the biggest cold turkey way to come off of it. That's for sure.
Well, bro, I know you have to go. You're going to train tonight.
MMA, grappling, jiu-jitsu.
Go in there and tear it up. Have a great time. Hey, Kitty, that dude, let your cat say that cat's awesome. That's a pretty.
Thank you. That is Blossom. That is Blossom.
Yeah, that's a good looking cat, man. I've seen some ugly, scary. That one. Most of my friends' cats, I've been at their houses for like 15 years. I've never met their cat. Their cat just disappears. Looks like you have a nice cat over there. That's the type of cat you want.
I got I don't know if you're aware of this. I got 4 cats. I'm a dad of 4 cats. I rescued 3 of them, and one of them my friend gave to me when he had to move, and I of course took it. I have a big heart for animals.
Get a big pit bull, throw it in there, and see what happens. No, I'm just kidding. You can't do it. My old dog never would attack a cat, but it was so obsessed with cats that it would stare at the cat all day. Like the cat would be stare. It was very uncomfortable for both ends. It was great for me because I didn't have to worry about my dog. I knew what it was doing. I was staring at a damn cat. But the poor cat was terrified. In the meantime, this dog wouldn't have hurt anything. Wouldn't have done it. Well, I'm glad that you're healthy, right? You feel good? How's the knee?
The knee, is interesting because
still a little tweaked.
It feels great, and then I'll be like, it's feeling real good today. Let me shoot a lead leg takedown. It's like, oh, okay, that I don't like how that feels, but it feels fine. I honestly think it's not like the Peter Griffin where he gets his knee hit, he lays on the ground, rolls around. It's not like that. It's like a just quick little jolt of, that was a little quick. I think that's going to be something that I have to deal with forever going forward until, like we've talked about before, I don't even know how surgery would look. I have been going easy on training so far. I'll be right now. I've been training 2 to 3 days a week for MMA just because I don't want to leave it all in the gym too early. My next fight, as of right now, is not till for 3 months. So I don't want to go hard until week 8, and then now it's like, okay, now we can start dialing in because I've done a 12-week camp. I mean, all last year I feel like I was in camp for a year. Then that's why I don't want to fight at 55 yet. I fight so frequently. I don't want to do that weight cut to myself so often. So this is going to be.
You're thinking about the weight cut pretty heavily, though. I know you.
I really am. I thought I would be decent sized at 170, and then when I fought Forrest, I thought we were similar size. Yeah, we were the same height, but man, he was just way thicker than me. And it wasn't that I felt like a lot weaker than him or anything. It's just the size. You never know what kind of situation you'll be in. Where you could be fighting a guy with that size, and if you're in a bad spot, let's say I was beat tired in the 3rd round and he scored a takedown, and the weight just started getting to me and I can't get up, because that does play a factor too. I am fiddling with the 55 idea though, just because I do want to test it. Maybe if I hit a 55 or like I hit some of these 70 guys, they go right to sleep, so we'll see them.
If you can make that weight, because you were already very strong at 70, but if you can actually make that weight and do it without hurting yourself, you're going to be a fucking problem at that division. I mean, you're going to be a problem at that division because even guys that maybe, you know, higher level on jujitsu right now, you know, and I'm talking about the, you know, the guys that are super, super technical right now, you're just going to be so much fucking bigger and stronger. It's going to be a problem because you were already a problem 170 with your strength. Like you were bullying 170s left and right. But I saw a little bit what you're talking about. That was a very big 170 guy you fought.
Yeah.
He's a big boy, and you respected. He's a Gracie jiu-jitsu guy. I know you respected his jiu-jitsu a lot. Otherwise, you would have been more than happy to hit that ground with him. It's the first time I've seen you. Let me just I'll stand up. I'm gonna stand up with you. Like I was like, oh shit, he respects that jujitsu a lot. Yeah.
I knew that was his A game. He, you know, it's funny. We got the same birthday. We're the same height. We weighed in at the same weight. Same age.
He's an anime fan too, isn't he?
He's a big anime fan.
You guys are meant to be friends. I swear.
We are. And when I knew he fights just like me. He wants to put you down and wear you out and then submit you or smash you. And I mean, I was like, you know what? I fought. This is going to be my 6th MMA fight. I haven't showed the stand up once. Let's show it. I mean, I'm going to be on Fight Pass. I know a lot of people are going to have this clip for a while. Fuck it, you know, it's time because at the point I am in this is one more quick thing and then I'll get rolling. Where I'm at in amateur, it's not like you can say no to every fight because there's not going to be a lot there. And a lot of the guys at our little tipping point at amateur, a lot of these guys are going to be tougher than the guys you debut pro against. I mean, there's amateurs out there that can have a very, very successful pro career. It's just that's not an ambition of theirs. And they just do it for the love of fighting. But there's some pros out there who make that jump too quick and they're still very, very green's a bad word for it, just not ready for the complete game of it. And I've talking to a couple people, they think that 5 rounds will be the biggest difference for me and that I'll probably have easier fights when I first go pro. But I say yes to everything. And that's why I'm thankful I have my coach to manage me right now, because the fighter mentality of, yep, give me, I don't even need a name anymore. Just tell them, here, I'm going to sign the contract, tell them fill in the blank. I'm ready for whoever. So
I love it, man. That's the attitude you have to have. Just like that cat. Just don't give a fuck.
I get right in the way and come hang out, show what you got. So
just come bring yourself to whatever party's there. Well, God bless you, man. Have fun training. Enjoy. We'll do this again next week. And thank you. The picks of the
big
week.
Card next week. Thank you, Eric.
The picks of the week again. You had Black Shear. You have Cruz is your Cruz is your other one, right? Or no?
Yep. Cruz is my other one, and then I want my lock to be Silva.
Silva's for the lock of the week.
Yeah.
Yep. Silva against Mirshaver Church. These fucking names. I mean, poor Joe Rogan having to memorize this shit and do it live.
Yeah.
All right, man. God bless you. Have fun.
Take care, Eric. Right, I'll catch you later, brother.
All right, bye. Send me that anime clip. I want to see it.
Yes, sir. I'll send you one.